What is up, guys? It's Noble from Jolly Roger Airsoft, and today we're going over radio communication. There was some annoyingly awful radio communication in Operation Cairo, so I've decided that our community needs this. So, some basic with radio comms. Keep your messages clear and concise, short and sweet. Do not interrupt other transmissions, don't use the stupid call button, transmit only meaningful information, and no basic pro words such as be advised, say again, etc. So, let's jump right in. Here's your basic walkie-talkie. They generally have buttons for call, volume, channels, and a power button. You should familiarize yourself with your radio. It's not a terribly complicated piece of equipment. Now, into the actual transmission. Brevity is key on the radio. Nobody needs to hear someone jabbering on for a minute about something that could be said in 10 seconds. Keep your words short and sweet, clear and concise to avoid confusion and to keep channels clear for others to use. This is very important when it comes to radio communication. Be polite on the radio too. Don't interrupt communications. But if you do, it's not a big deal. Just back off and let the other person speak. Interruptions lead to miscommunication, so avoid at all costs. Finally, don't clog up the channel with meaningless jibber-jabber. Transmit meaningful info and shut up. The name of the game is keeping comms clear for vital information to be passed. Now, there are different types of radio nets on the simulated battlefield. Some are more formal than others. If you have an immediate team network, this net will be the most informal. Proper protocol isn't always required here, and you'll know each other's voices pretty well. The higher nets connect you to squad, platoon, and company leaders. Those are more formal, and you need to properly use them because this is how the commanders are trying to command through. You need to make sure that you keep the direct links up your chain of command clear and used properly. Only one member of your group needs to be actively communicating with the higher nets just to avoid confusion. That way you don't have two guys from the same squad sending information up, because that again creates clutter on the radio net and you don't want that. So, this was the most annoying thing at Cairo. Don't use the call button. I'm not sure what the civilian purpose is, but in a military or milsim setting it has absolutely no use. It makes noise and gives no information. Do not use it. Please, I'm begging you. Don't use it. In case I wasn't clear, don't use the call button. So, on to call signs. We use call signs over the radio because it gives us simple, clear identifiers for each unit. Instead of saying that one guy with the hat or the first group of tanks, we use call signs like Gambler or Titan. Your unit call sign can be anything, usually one word. Unit leaders often use a 6 designation to clearly mark them as the group leader. I'm not sure about this, but I believe that the 6 is used because it's the easiest number to hear over the radio. As Havoc Squad Leader, I would be known as Havoc 6. Now, radio pro words are terms used to shorten or clarify radio transmission. These help with brevity by giving a format for transmitting messages. We have a list of pro words on our website under Radio Communications Guide, so I'll just highlight a few key ones here. Be advised is a very common one. Usually you are advising someone of something. Break is used when you need to pause while sending your message. Instead of saying over, say break. Say again and repeat are often confused. Say again is used for repeating the other person's message, while repeat is used for when calling for artillery fire, a whole separate issue. This is one of the subtleties that make you sound professional to people who know what they're talking about. The other is over and out. So, over means this is the end of my message and I expect a response, while out means this is the end of my message, I do not expect a response. Therefore, over and out are opposites and can't be used together. So you're never going to say over and out because that's actually a conflicting message. Do you want them to repeat? Do you want them to respond to you or do you not? So that's a conflicting message. It's a common Hollywood cod misconception. Over and out is not a real military thing. It's one or the other, over or out. Now some miscellaneous terms. Lima Charlie means loud and clear when responding to a radio check. 5x5 is essentially the same thing. You are indicating the signal strength through a number between 1 and 5. Affirmative means yes, negative means no, and Oscar Mike means on the move. Remember, all these terms vary from service to service. The British don't use the exact same radio format or words the Americans do, and vice versa, so you have to be a little flexible with that. In response to Cairo, let's learn how to do a radio check without hitting the call button. You will always identify yourself and your recipient first in any radio transmission. A radio check is the same way, except you do not need to identify your recipient because you're sending to the whole channel. You follow your identification, in this case Havoc 6, with radio check and then the channel number, and your transmission with over because you do expect a response. They should answer us with their call sign, our call sign, Lima Charlie, or X by 5 on channel blank, and end with an out. It's that simple. Now you know they've heard you, and you're transmitting on that net. Let's send another message. Say there are some tanks flying over a hill somewhere. We decide to tell command and start by identifying ourselves, Havoc. Then we designate our recipient and send our message. Since we are sending Sokol 6 information about flying tanks, we will say, "Be advised, tanks are flying, over." Simple enough. Follow this format and you will improve your radio communication skills greatly. One final note. Remember that numbers should be read out to improve clarity. For example, 12 is read 1-2, and 195 is read 1-9-5. This is easier to understand over the radio than saying the traditional numbers. 1-9-5 is clearer than 195, because radio communication kind of decreases the amount of clarity in words, so you have to kind of spell it out. Now be sure to check out our website for a detailed list of pro words, protocol, and the phonetic alphabet, which you should definitely familiarize yourself. The phonetic alphabet is a good thing to know when you're dealing with radios. So, that's it for this episode of our Basic Tactics Guide. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please post them away. If you have any suggestions for new episodes, things you want to see me talk about, then I would be happy to do that. On the docket, Noble versus Justin is this weekend, so look forward to the video from that. And other than that, we're getting psyched for Blue Gray and Revelations. So, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Really appreciate it. Hope this helps with your radio talking. And again, if you have any questions, just comment, and I will do my best to answer them. So, thanks for watching. Peace out.